Now we have another cracker on this undercard, Carlos Adames against Austin Emma Williams. Carlos Adames, we know he is the seasoned veteran, the WBC middleweight champion of the world, who's tough in game as they come, against a young, hungry Austin Emma Williams attempting his first shot at the world title. This is going to be a tough fight. I could see very similarities in both fighters, and I see the same flaws in the pair of them. But when we break down Adames, he breaks down the body, he goes head body, he works on the inside, he makes you give up his range. As you'll see here, he's missing with ease, and then when he misses with ease, what does he do? He replies, where Shiraz just couldn't see it all night all long, where it's them angles, them slight head movements, Adames was picking them up all night, and God knows how that fight was a draw. He picks his punches while making them miss. That is the key against someone like Austin Emma Williams, someone who's timed with their work. You see a few little flicky jabs, and then go head body, just like he does there. Don't be over eager, and when they reply, again there, good shot from Shiraz, but you got to reset, and when you reset, you allow them to come forward, and then that's when you get them on the counter, which Adames masters to a T. So against Austin Emma Williams, that could be the deciding factor, where you see here, that 1-2, little head movements, game of angles, he's making him miss, he's making him pay, and when he's on the inside, he's giving up his range. And again, he needs to do this massively against Austin Emma Williams, because you'll see here where he does try and fight at range, but when he fought Terrell Gusher, he was hesitant. You'll see here, he'll land a jab, and then the jab replies back, and he lets them fire away with him. So work on the inside is the best thing he can do, because working at range is something which he's susceptible to falling back into first gear or failing to commit. Where you'll see here against on the inside in the last round against Gusher, he's going toe to toe, because that's his game, where when he's fighting at a range, fighting at his reach, he's sort of confusing himself at the same time, where he needs to work on the inside like this, turn your foot, pivot, then land the shots. Simple as that. Don't overcomplicate yourself, do what got you to the dance, keep your base, keep your stance, and the rest will follow. But Gusher here, as you saw at the end, landed a few good shots, so move your head, simple as that. Where against Derevyanchenko, this was a tough fight, very tough fight, but we saw shades of him at southpaw, where he can switch stance from orthodox to southpaw. Them uppercuts, short, snappy, but a bit wide. But you'll see here these defensive movements where he makes you miss. On the back foot, he's very solid. And then here, this check hook, slips the jab, sends him flying. So defensively, he's good. But when he gets complacent on the ropes, he gets caught with very, very silly shots, where he's happy to, sit on the ropes, take a few and give a few back. But stick to the game plan, because that could cost you at the end of the night. But overall, offensively, he's pretty solid. But defensively, he has bits and bobs, as he's shown in the Shiraz fight, which, he utilised, and just there where he slips that left hand. But sometimes he can switch off and get hit with silly shots, where you need to be alert, especially with someone like Austin Emma Williams, where, against Volnoy, he had moments, but at the same time, he was pretty much in one gear the whole fight, where you'll see here in the first round where he feints with a jab, and lands that left down the body. That's pretty much what he did for the 12 rounds. But he mixed up with the odd hook, the odd uppercut, and tried to vary it. But it was more in 2-3 punch combos. He didn't really have a high output where it was a bit of a stinker. And for someone with a tight guard to get easily caught with a jab like that, sums it up, where in the 6th round, he caught him, had him going, but he's rushing his work. Where you see here, when he's just horrendous at cutting angles, as good as the shots and as well as picking the shots here, trying to cut the ring off, he's not the greatest at, with no disrespect to him. He works on the inside here, but you see Volney's just smart. He's having that right hand where he can turn him and then try and land shots of his own, where Williams is so unaware of it that against someone of the elite level, which Shiraz did against him, also, it's just not going to go in your favour. Where another fight here against Mwamba Yasser in first gear, you see how negative he is, just circling around the ring, no output. He'll land a good shot here, lands his shot, but what does he do? Don't go, go forward and try and, get the job done or find an opening. He steps back and he's giving up his ground, slowly giving up his ground, stepping back, and he's just playing possum, which is the worst thing you could do, because you're losing your authority, and he's slowly gaining it back in the ring. And then what does he do? goes back to circling around the ring, being negative. That is not going to win you the fight against someone like Carlos Adames. You've got to be on him like a rash from the first bell. Like this. Put him in the corner. Fire away. Swing away. Head body. Hit his arms and chest for all I care. But it was great here. The way he opens. The way he feints with that southpaw jab. He has a tight guard. Makes him drop that lead hand when he's trying to, find that range. And then boom. When he drops that lead left hand, he can fire away with that left hand over the pipe. Where with Shiraz, he did that perfectly, but he rushed his work. Landed a great shot early, but then rushed it, didn't capitalize on it. Lands the same shot, but Shiraz sees through it, and then rocks him with a right down the pipe, where timing is the key, as you'll see here. Same thing. Timing is just something that you need to do against someone like Austin Williams. Time your punches. That's what Shiraz did perfectly. Again, lands that punch of his own, then utilize it. But as good as his timing is, Shiraz's timing was just a different level that night, and eventually got him out of there in the second half of the fight. But against Carlos Adames, simple as this: up the gears. Don't stand and wait for openings, because Adames just ain't gonna do that. I can promise you that. Up the volume, up the work rate is key. Up them gears. Don't stay in first gear the whole fight. And when you do hurt him, and you up that volume, don't rush into it, because you'll smother your work like you did against Shiraz in the second round. And counter punching is the key. Adames, his left hooks are very, very wide. So if you counter punch them, roll under, land a shot of your own, that could be night-night. Now with Adames, timing them lazy jabs, because as good as Ammo Williams is, his jabs can be a bit lazy, where he's susceptible to easy right hands down the pipe. Push him on the back foot. Make sure you cut the ring while you do that, so there's no trap where he can escape. And of course, uppercuts from the inside, because as tight as he is, sometimes he leaves himself open on the insides, and when he leaves himself open on the inside, that's another chin exposed potentially. Now, stylistically, great fight, but Austin Ammo Williams, you are a very good southpaw, very good technically. I remember watching your second fight on the Joshua Ruiz card. I watched the start of your career, but you slowly declined. The fighter you was in your first 5-6 fights. I know you're against low level regional fighters, but you just haven't really come onto something where I thought you would. And I do believe this world title shot shouldn't be as close as the odds suggest. I do believe Adames will smoke your boots, with all due respect. I think Adames is too seasoned. He's fought at a high level, technically better, much better on the inside. And personally, I don't know how Adames is 1-4. I'd make him 1-40. So for that reason, I do believe Adames will stop him inside the distance. I believe, if I'm honest, Ammo Williams, he might win a round or two, but I do believe Adames will come on strong. He'll get the job done, slowly break him down, and I do believe it will be a very, very... it's not going to be close, and I don't want to say it's competitive, but let's just say it'll be a valiant effort from Ammo Williams, because I don't think this fight will be close in the slightest. But that is what I'm going to be betting, and that is my prediction for the fight. Hope you enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, and as always, this ain't financial advice. This can be what I'll be betting based off my research. Have a great day, boys.